So I'm just going to grab my cards, I'll give them a shuffle, and we're going to start with a card pull today. Give me one moment. There might be one other person dropping in, but we're just going to start for now. Good morning, everyone. I am so excited for today's class. We're going to be doing work on our third chakra, our navel chakra. So this chakra exists right above our belly button, between about our sternum and our belly button. So somewhere kind of right in the middle. And it's the energy point in our chakra system that's yellow. Its wavelength is just that much bit faster than our root chakra to our sacral chakra. So we're going from red to orange to now yellow. So the wavelength is shorter, meaning that the frequency is a little bit faster and higher. So what our navel chakra deals with is our willpower. It's basically formed between the ages of about 2 to, that's kind of debatable. It can go up to like age 10. It depends how quickly you mature. But what it forms is our will, the impact that we can have on the world around us. So that's why you see the terrible twos coming up at this time when this chakra is being formed, because kids are just trying to figure out what impact can I have. You know, they'll find them drawing on the walls, touching everything. They're just trying to experience and do. So it's very much your willpower, your action, your confidence resides here. The card that I'm going to pick today is going to be obviously assisted by the universe in giving us a message that we need to hear for today's class. So I'm just going to pick a card. So I picked the beautiful card, Lena, what must be shall be. Beautiful. So I'm just going to read this message for today. And trust that the universe picked what we need to hear for this practice. Lena, what must be shall be. You have beautiful dreams and inspired, bold ambitions. You are guided to believe that they are not a natural expression of your soul, something that is meant to be. Life will support you in the expression of those dreams and ambitions, even in the moments where it seems to be a struggle rather than support that you are experiencing. The process of transformation to full maturity involves learning how to grow through light and through darkness back into the light again. You will always find your way back to the light. Have faith in yourself and what must be. Dedicate yourself to what you love without hesitation. So this is actually such a perfect card. It really is embodying that message of action, of you have dreams and ambitions. You're guided to believe that your natural expression, the way that you naturally choose to express yourself, it has to do with what is meant to be your destiny on this earth. So It's saying for you to have faith in what must be, dedicate yourself to what you love without hesitation, go for it, take action, send your internal energy, your drive towards what you love, as simply put as it can be. For today's class, I want us to really focus on our own love for ourself. This is a class of filling our own cup so that we can pour ourselves into what we love. So, without further ado, we're going to start on our feet today. If you want to just come standing at the top of your mat, feet in number 11s, plug down through the four corners of your feet. Just kind of pedal your feet out for a moment, finding your foundation. Maybe roll to the insides of your feet, lifting the outer edge of your feet off the mat, and then roll to the outer edge of your feet, lifting the inner edge off the mat. Just do that a little bit for a moment, feeling the inner lining and the outer lining of your feet. Lift your toes so you can feel the arches activate, and then come into stillness and slowly relax your toes to the mat, where you can still feel that engagement in your feet, almost like your soles are gripping to the mat. Bend into your knees and inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Reach all the way up as long as you can extend your body, palms together, down through heart center. Exhale, and alongside your hips. Bend into your knees again, scoop your arms up. Reach your arms as long as they'll go, and exhale, palms down through heart center and forward fold. Let your upper half hang. Inhale, halfway lift, bring your shoulders back, your neck back, and exhale, fold. Plant your hands and step back into a high plank position. You can lower your knees here if you need to, or you can stay in your high plank. Tuck your elbows into your sides and lower down, chaturanga. Untuck your toes. Press into your hands and give yourself a little back bend, cobra. Melt back towards the earth, curl over your toes, and back into upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe and just pedal out your feet here for a moment. Press into your arms, bringing your head even more in between your biceps. Come into stillness in your feet and draw your heels towards the earth. Feel the stretch that gives you in the back of your legs, the stretch it gives you along your tailbone, and how that stretch from your tailbone goes down your back, straightening your spine. Strengthen, draw that energy from the earth and into your pelvis and into your heart from your arms. Inhale, lift your right leg up and back behind you. Exhale, open and stack your hips, pointing your right knee towards the ceiling. Inhale, lift your right leg up and back behind you, and exhale, step your right foot between your legs. Drop your left knee. Now here you can roll up the side of your mat if you need extra support. You can reach for a cushion if you've got something, if you need that additional knee support. I always like it. You can step your front foot forward ever so slightly. If you've got blocks, reach for them now, or have a balancing object beside you that you can lean on so you can help your chest stay open and elevated as much as possible. We're not collapsing here. So your stance is wider. We're going to inhale, send our glutes towards our back foot and flex our front foot towards our face. Inhale. Exhale, lunge into your front leg. Feel that stretch along your front of your left hip. Inhale back. Really breathe into the back of your leg and exhale forward. Inhale back. Flex those toes and exhale forward. Really exhale into the stretch in your front left hip. Continue pulsing with your breath, following your own unique breath rhythm. Two more breaths here. Let's make them count. Last one. The next time you lunge forward, plant your hands and step back into a downward dog. Let your weight fall heavy into your heels and really press into your hands. 3 breaths here. And let the weight fall into your heels as you find strength to push with your arms. Inhale, lift your left leg up and back behind you. Exhale, bend your knee, open and stack your hips. Left knee points to the ceiling. Inhale your left leg back behind you and exhale, step your left foot between your hands. Drop your right knee. Find your support for your knee, your balancing objects around you. Step your front foot just a little wider. Inhale, send your glutes to your back foot as you flex your front foot towards your face. Exhale, lunge into your front leg. Feel that stretch along the front of your right hip. Inhale back. And exhale forward. Follow your breath. Maybe you find that one side is a little more flexible than another. Don't make anything about your experience wrong. Know that the only way that we can get better sometimes is if we allow ourselves to not be perfect, to fail. So even when you think, I'm not doing it, can you know that you are doing it because you're trying? And the next time you lunge forward, plant your hands and step back into a downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet. Then come heavy into your heels, pressing into your hands. Breathe into the backs of your legs. Really feel your downward dog here. Inhale forward. You can remove your cushion if you've got anything on your mat. So you're in a high plank now. You can drop your knees if you need to. Tuck your elbows into your sides and lower down. Untuck your toes, press into your hands. This time, really elevate your hips off the ground. Your thighs should be off the ground. Upward facing dog. And roll over your toes and back to downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up and back behind you. Exhale, step your right foot between your hands. Stay high onto the ball mound of your left foot and really strengthen the back of your left thigh. Inhale, reach your right arm up, rotating to the right side of the room. And imagine that you're sending your right glutes back. So really energetically draw your right glutes back as you twist to open your chest to the right side of the room. Fingertips come up. You can look up towards your right fingertips if you're able to. This is your twisted lunge. So you should be feeling this in the outside of your right hip, your right glute. Breathe into this juicy twist. Feel your strength radiating from you that you can infinitely draw up from the earth beneath you. On your next exhale, drop your hands, plant your hands to frame your front foot and step back into downward facing dog. Come into the weight of your heels, press into your hands. Find that balance between strength and surrender. Inhale your left leg up and back behind you. And exhale, step your left foot between your hands. Stay high onto the ball mound of your right foot. Strengthen the back of your right thigh. Plant your right hand on the inside of your left foot. And inhale, begin to rotate your left arm up towards the ceiling. Breathe here. Opening up through the chest. Send your left glutes back to the back of the room. Energetically drawing your left hip back. You can feel that juicy stretch. Breathe into those tight places. If you're able to, look up towards your top fingertips. Breathe here. There's no rush. Two more breaths. Make them count. Plant your hands and step back into a high plank. Lower down to the mat. Make a pillow for your head with your hands. Bend your knees to a 90-degree angle. And then windshield wiper your feet from side to side. Giving your low back a little stretch. Drop your feet to the left. And look to your right as you breathe. Inhale and inflate your back as you bring your legs to neutral. And exhale, drop your legs to the right side. Look to your left. Breathe into your low back, into your middle back, into your kidneys. Inhale your legs to neutral, and exhale, drop your feet to the mat. This time, point your hands towards your feet. And inhale, lift your chest, activating your back muscles. Reach for your feet. Really feel your whole back engage, your heart open, and see if you can draw your neck back. Your gaze is looking in the same direction your heart is pointing. Breathe here in your half locust. One more breath. You can do it. Feel your strength. And exhale, melt. Pause for a moment. Just tap into your breath. We're going to do the same thing. This time we're going to do a full locust. So we activate our feet as well. Bring your hands to point towards your feet. And engage your back, lifting your legs off the ground, lifting your torso off the ground, full locust. Breathe here. See if you can lift your feet even higher. Draw your neck back. Maybe that means your gaze is not looking as high up, but it's following the line of sight of your heart. 3 more breaths here. You can do it. Give yourself the opportunity to impress yourself here. 1 more breath. And melt to the earth. Beautiful. Tuck your toes under. Push up through tabletop and send your hips back towards your heels. Tense your fingers in front of you and melt your heart to the earth. Lift the underlining of your arms up. So instead of being down here, maybe you lift your arms up so that it almost exposes your ears. Melt your heart, melt your forehead, melt the back of your heart. Can you feel the tension behind your heart? How your back sometimes clenches and holds and restrains to protect your heart. Let it melt. Inhale to tabletop position. And then just elevate yourself onto your knees. Your toes should still be curled under here. Once again, if you need extra knee support, grab it. I always like mine. The knees are very complex, bony, and cartilage-filled joints. So we're going to find our foundation on our knees. It's the same as when we're standing. So we tuck our tailbone almost, drawing it down to the earth. See how that automatically pivots your belly so your belly button's drawn inwards almost. Your belly is still soft enough that you can inflate it to fill it with your breath. But we draw it to our spine just to adjust our spine and our rib cage. Inhale your shoulders up to your ears and exhale, bring them back and down. Palms flip open. And then just reach with your shoulders in the same position that they are in. Reach your hands to right above your tailbone. So kind of like on your back pockets of your pants. And with your tailbone tucked, your belly engaged, your chest open, begin to open up into a slight back bend. So you're leaning on your hands. That way you can make sure your tailbone is still tucked and you're not dumping your weight in an uncomfortable position. So begin to open up through the chest, elevating your heart to the sky. Gaze follows. And find where you can open up comfortably. If you're able to, you can reach for your heels. This is your camel pose. Breathe into your belly. Feel your strength. Two more breaths here. Bring your hands to your back pockets and slowly work your way up to a straight position. Exhale to your hands and knees. And we're going to do a few cat-cow breaths here. We usually do this at the beginning of the class. We're going to do this now. So inhale, drop your belly, lift your sitting bones, lift your gaze. And exhale, curve your spine towards the ceiling. Tailbone comes in, head looks in. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze. And exhale, spine to ceiling, This is your cat pose. Pulse a few more times through your cat-cow breath, slower than you want to. Being really slow and deliberate. What that helps us do is actively engage in the present moment. Instead of trying to mentally figure it out, move through it, figure out where we're going next. Can you really focus on drawing in your air slowly and drawing out your air slowly, linking your movements to your breath so ever so slowly. The next time you come to neutral, pause for a moment. Draw your neck back. So in tabletop position, we always make sure our neck is an extension of our spine. We don't want to be looking up to the front of the room. We want to be looking down. Bring our belly button in, tuck your tailbone ever so slightly. Press into the four corners of your hands. Finding those four corners, then elevate your knees off the ground just an inch and pause. Breathe. Lift your knees one more inch and pause and breathe. One more inch lift. And then with bent knees, send yourself into a downward dog, but keep your knees generously bent here. Feel your belly being scooped onto your lap. Look towards your toes. Bend into your elbows a little bit. Look up towards your hands. We're going to do some donkey kicks here. So looking up towards your hands, pressing and bending into your elbows, creating some strength into your upper body. Kick your feet off the ground behind you. We're going to do 15 of these. 1, 2, 3. Count yourself. You can do 15, so you can do it. 5 more to go. Drop your knees as wide as your mat. Bring your big toes together. Extend your arms out in front of you and melt to the earth. Beautiful work, guys. When you put in the work, that's how you get to go to where you want to. Find your breath, steady your heart rate. You can sit up onto your feet and bring your knees together. So you're sitting on your feet. And just breathe for a moment. Find your stability in your seat. It might be hard for you to sit onto your knees, onto your feet. If that's the case, take a block and just put it between your feet for you to sit on. You will get there. It's something that we can all work to. This is called thunderbolt posture. So for a moment, I want you to imagine that that you are a beam of energy, just like a thunderbolt, that nature has struck, and you are that beam of light. And so long as you exist on this earth, you are that flash of light. Breathe into the lowest part of your belly. Feel it expand onto your legs. Fill your chest. Pause at the top of your breath. And slower than you want to, exhale. Pause at the bottom of your breath. Inhale. Pause at the top and exhale. This time, inhale. We're going to do an om, so part your lips and audibly let out an om. Take a breath. Exhale to empty. Inhale, one more om. So I lied, we're going to do one more. Inhale. And om. Feel that frequency resonate. Feel it land into the deepest part of your belly, into the center of your core, your center of gravity, the part of you where you can draw so much energy from. Feel the energy that radiates through you, the energy that you are. Beautiful. You can roll into a seat so you're on your glutes. Bring your right foot in towards the inner lining of your left thigh. Extend your left thigh out. Flex your left toes towards your face. And inhale, grow long. You're sitting on both of your glutes right now. So maybe take your hands and literally shift your glutes so you can root into both sitting bones. Grow tall. You're facing right in between your legs. Inhale and exhale. Just turn towards your left foot. Inhale, grow long. Exhale, fold over your left leg. Your arms can come out in front of you. Your head can look down towards your knee. Grab your foot, your shin, your ankle, whatever you're able to. And just give yourself a little bit of a pull with your arms as you melt towards your leg. Three more breaths here. Don't rush this experience. Let yourself face challenges so that you can grow. Can you find that push and pull right now between effort and ease? Surrender and feel and breathe. But that doesn't mean you're not pulling, just ever so slightly, yourself towards what you want. Walk your hands up. So you slowly walk your torso up. Bring both feet in towards each other. Give them a little butterfly flap. So you're drawing the soles of your feet are together and you're drawing your feet in towards your crotch. Just flap your knees. And then with your elbows, press into your thighs and just breathe. With your arms, pull yourself even more in between your thighs. And remember to bring your shoulders onto your back so your chest is open. This is your butterfly pose. It's easy to notice here where one hip may be tighter than another. Don't make that hip wrong, but maybe give her a little bit more love. And what love looks like isn't forcing it to do what you want it to do. It's nurturing it to help it go where you want it to go. So for the tighter hip, can you breathe more air into that space? Can you help it down just a little bit without forcing it down, without pushing it or shoving it? Can you give it a little guidance towards the earth? 3 more breaths here. Last one, make it count. Beautiful. Take your hands to the outer edges of your knees and close your legs like a book. When we stretch our legs like that, we never want to activate the muscles right after we've done that stretch to bring them in. So do that with your hands. Extend your legs out in front of you and give them a little bit of a shake. And then bring your left sole into the inner lining of your right thigh. Shift your glutes, find your seat, and flex your right toes towards your face. Inhale, grow long. You're facing right in between both of your legs, and exhale, turn towards your right foot. Inhale, grow long. And exhale, reach for your foot. You can reach for your ankle or your shin if you need to. And just give yourself a little bit of a pull as you melt over your right leg. Breathe into the left side of your back body. It takes us having the confidence to try before we can build real confidence, which is backed by experience. So that saying, fake it till you make it, is one of the most valid sayings. You'll never make it if you don't try. So have some faith in yourself and give yourself the opportunities you need to grow. This pose is called head to knee pose. And when you're all the way in it, you can put your head to your knee. As you can see, maybe I'm not there. And that is okay. That doesn't mean I'm not going to do this pose. It means I'm going to do more of it so I can get there. So have the confidence to try. Walk your hands up your leg, helping yourself back to a seated position slowly. Bring your right foot in to meet your left foot. In your butterfly pose, give your legs a little bit of a flap here. Rock onto your sitting bones if you're not already on them. Using your hands, pull your torso more between your legs and bring your shoulders onto your back so your chest is open. Come into stillness in your butterfly pose and you use your elbows to push into your thighs ever so slightly. Breathe. Inhale, expansiveness. And exhale, making yourself small. Inhale, courage. And exhale, doubt. Inhale, power. And exhale, weakness. When we have faith that the universe is carrying us, when we connect to others around us for support, and when we tap into our own will, our own values, our own power, we've built the strongest foundation for us to live fulfilling and healthy lives. And from there, we can only grow. When you make a mistake, when you fail, when you crumble, can you start to see that as part of your growth process too? Take your hands to the outer edges of your knees and close your legs slowly like a book. Extend your legs out in front of you. Give them a little bit of a shake. Find your sitting bones on your mat, so move your glutes again. We always find our foundation in every pose. With your feet flexed towards your face, can you flex your pinkies also just a little bit more towards your face, making sure that your feet are not turning so that, yeah, they're square. So your pinkies are really actively pulling back, and that honestly helps to square your feet. Grow long and exhale, fold over both of your legs, reach for your ankles, reach for your feet, your shins, whatever you can. And just like we were with the one leg, give yourself a little bit of a pull without forcing yourself. Breathe into your entire back body. Gaze looks towards your legs. Arms come as far forward as you can. Feel that stretch along your back and breathe. Five breaths here. Do this at your own pace. Breathe into every part of your back and exhale anything that it's holding. Take one more breath here. Come up to sit. Lay onto your back. And tuck your shoulder blades behind you, bringing them together, helping your palms almost flip open. But even with that activation where your shoulders and chest are open, your shoulder blades are together onto your back, your palms want to flip open. Can you bring them with that same engagement in your chest? Can you just bring your palms to meet the earth and point towards your heels? Maybe draw your heels closer to your hands so you can almost touch them with your fingertips, or you can touch them with your fingertips. Inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, lift your hips towards the ceiling. And isometrically imagine that you're drawing your heels towards your fingertips, and imagine that you're drawing your shoulder blades together. And root in through the back of your head. So maybe tuck your chin just a little bit more so that the nape of your neck is almost meeting the earth. Send your hips just a little bit higher and breathe. This is your bridge pose. Activate your glutes and see if you can lift your hips even higher. Hold the pose. Sometimes in life, you've got to hold the pose. So when you feel like cutting and running, can you do what's best for you? Can you do what will help you grow the most? Sometimes that's just holding the pose. You can slowly drop your hips to the earth. Bring your left heel over your right knee. Reach for the back of your right thigh, and using your left elbow, press into your left thigh, opening it up. Flex your left toes towards your left knee, and using your arms, draw your right thigh in. Breathe into the outer edge of your left hip. The purpose of this practice today is to loosen you up so that you can expand, so that you can release tension, and so that you can feel renewed and energized to make the decisions and take action where you want to in your life today. One more breath. On the exhale, really draw your thigh in. And then inhale, come out of your stretch, feet to the mat. And then just windshield wiper your knees from side to side. Come to neutral, bring your right ankle over your left knee. Reach for the back of your left thigh, interlace your fingers. Use your right elbow to press into your right thigh and flex your right toes towards your right knee. Draw your left thigh closer to your belly and feel that juicy stretch along the outer right edge of your hip. Breathe. Take this opportunity to meet yourself at your limitations. Push against them a little bit with your willpower. We're never forcing, always guiding. Two more breaths here. Let's really make them count. And let both of your feet fall to the earth. Windshield wiper your knees from side to side. Bring your knees into your belly. Grab your shins and rock from side to side, giving your low back a nice massage. Massaging your kidneys and your mid-back. See if you can even massage your shoulders by melting them into the earth as you roll. And let your head roll with the rest of your body. Give the back of your head a little bit of a massage too. Beautiful. Come into stillness. Extend your feet the length of your mat. Bring your feet wider than hip width apart. Let them flop to the sides of the room. Make sure your shoulder blades are still sort of tucked behind you, flipping your palms open so you can be willing to receive. And surrender. Draw your neck even more to the earth, maybe causing a slight tuck in your chin. And then relax every muscle in your being. Sometimes we think of our will as the aggressor. When we do, sometimes we get into this spiral of chaotic doing. But sometimes your willpower, it's not a pushing force. Sometimes it's a relinquishing force. Can your will guide you to surrender where you need to, and guide you to where you need to put some effort in? Truly, one of the houses of our intuition is right in the pit of our bellies. This inner knowing when you want something, when you want to do something, when something that you are doing is not serving you, and you think, this doesn't feel right, I should do this or I should do that. Know that you have the power to make those calls for yourself. Become an active participant in your will. Instead of letting your habits guide you, can you will yourself in the direction you want to go? Knowing that your own personal power, when you believe in it, is stronger than any addiction, any habit. Your will is stronger. With every breath, inflate your belly. Really feel your belly expand. And exhale slower than you want to, almost pressing into your belly to make sure it stays as expanded as you can keep it for as long as you can keep it, helping you draw your breath out even more slowly. Inhale, watch your belly expand, and exhale, watch it slowly melt to the earth. With every inhale, imagine that you're breathing in beautiful, bright yellow light. Draw it into the core of your belly, right above your belly button and below your rib cage. And imagine that there's a beautiful flower, a yellow flower, and that it's spinning clockwise. Inhale and slow the flower spinning down. Until you're able to spin it in the opposite direction, counterclockwise. And with every breath, imagine that flower is spinning faster and faster counterclockwise. And every breath is making it shine brighter, drawing out any dullness, any blockages that wasn't letting the light get to your flower. when it's shining as brightly as it can, when you feel it's been cleaned, shined, and brightened, begin to slow the spinning again with your breath. Until you're able to eventually get it to spin counterclockwise again. This time, it instantly starts spinning fast and bright. Feel that yellow flower. Feel that yellow light energize every cell of your being with the same golden yellow light. Feel each one of your 3 trillion cells tingle with energy and excitement. This is your personal power, and it is like magic, beautifully divine, so much more infinitely, so much infinite potential that more than you even know, more than you will ever know. Can you trust in the infinity of your power? Feel it residing in your body now. Feel the energy that charges each one of your cells, keeping you alive. What a blessing. Begin to find some movement in your fingers and your toes, into your hands and your wrists and ankles and feet, and just reach your hands together up and overhead. Give yourself a stretch. And then roll over onto your right side. Use your bicep as a pillow and rest for a moment. And then press into your hands and come up to a seated position on your mat. Find your foundation, find your alignment. Even in a restful posture, we can engage. Know the difference between clenching, forcing, resisting, and engaging. You can still surrender, be open, be peaceful, and be engaged. Bring your hands to heart center. Press into your hands, and at the same time press your shoulders together behind you on your back. Bow into your heart and thank yourself for coming today. And I thank you so much for joining me. The light and shadow in me bows to and acknowledges the light and shadow in each of you. Namaste. I hope you find the courage today to impact what you want to impact, to create what you want to create, to impact and push your energy onto what is important to you. So guide yourself with your heart and have faith and confidence in your power.